Okay, so a little introduction to the bike. Someone mentioned in a comment that there was no introduction to the bike, they weren't happy. So, Velocette KTT 1934, this particular one. So, Velocette had victories, wins at the Isle of Man TT in 1926, 28 and 29, and then after that I guess they were probably top 10 but just didn't get the win. So the engine numbers for these Mark IVs goes from 401 to 549, and from the Mark 1 to this you get a 4-speed gearbox on this, and some of the early ones had Harold Willis positive stop. It's got the newer Velo gearbox, I guess. They also introduced a 14mm spark plug for the first time on KTTs, maybe for the first time on Velos, and they changed the angle to get better combustion, so that's a nice little plus to this Mark IV over the earlier ones. Hairpin valve springs, they were made under license from Sunbeam, which I didn't even know that. Just researched, and that's quite interesting to find out. They changed the cylinder head spigot, I guess they did something, so that's increased the combustion also, so that's good. The inlet was opened up from a 1 inch to a 1 1/16 of an inch, so it's bigger inlet port, which is good. The fuel tank's pretty damn big. It's bigger than the earlier ones, and it's a 4-gallon tank from what I'm aware of. You get a subframe fitted. I'll try and show you along here, down all the way to the front there. That was to improve rigidity at the back end, which they found out, I think, from doing tests at Brooklands, trying to probably do 100 miles an hour. The later Mark IVs, like mine, they get the bronze head, which you're not going to be able to see, probably it's covered in oil and shit, but yeah, they get a bronze head. The very early ones weren't, they were just probably iron, I guess. So Les Archer, won the Brooklands GP, junior and senior, in 1933, so that would be on the Mark IV. They were actually made between 1932 and 1934. I thought it was just 33 and 34, but anyway, 32 to 34. And 148 of these were made, and I'm sure there's a lot less than that surviving today. Probably, let's hazard a guess, probably 50-ish. Don't know, someone can tell me. Yeah, and that's it. Enjoy the ride. Okay, welcome to the start of the ride, and welcome to the village of Lover. Alright, let's go. And we're off. Alright, just take in the village of Lover, if you will. I'll get my breath back. Nice traditional post box there. Probably could change church over there on the right, but you probably missed that. Okay, so new year, new me. New year, new me. That's topic number 1. And organised crime, motorcycle theft. Things I'm just made aware of recently. Topic number 2. Now, I did think I'm going to probably have some issues with horses today, just the noise of the bike, and also in the New Forest right now the studs, I think they're called, but anyway, the male horses are out to yeah, you know what they do. And there's also new foals around, so you've got a kind of combination of brand new babies and then males all testosteroned up, running around, you know. So yeah, so probably going to have some issues with horses, but let's wait and see. Right, so I picked today's starting point of Lover, because of the name. I mean, what a cool name is that to have for your little country village. I'm from Lover, the old Lover. And then I'm off to Bramshaw, I think it is. We'll check if I actually see a signpost down there, but I'm heading for, I think it's called Bramshaw. Neither of these places I've really been to. Been to Bramshaw once before, and this place never. So the reason I'm heading for Bramshaw is off the back of creating these YouTube videos. I've made an acquaintance who lives there. What? She's going like a killer today, mate. I think it's the nice weather and the gratefulness for being ridden again. It's been like, I don't know how many months, bloody hell, it's June now, so 6 months I guess. No more, because I wouldn't have ridden it all up to December, so. Yeah, so I made this acquaintance in Bramshaw. It's very close to me. You know, it's one of those situations where I'm on this bike, Velocette KTT, and this acquaintance also has a very special Velocette. And when he told me, I guess I just completely wasn't expecting it, so just kind of a bit dismissive, and then obviously you go further into the conversation and further into the friendship, and you know, you discover stuff, and it's amazing, and I'm very grateful for him reaching out via comments and messages and stuff like that. I think he may have been one of the people pushing me to do an Instagram channel. I can't remember, someone was, maybe it wasn't him. You know, which that then meant I could get messages from people, so that was good, because YouTube, you can't really do the messages. But yeah, like, it's a fantastic acquaintance to make, I think, because we're local to each other. We both have special velos, so there's obviously a common interest, but he's got a wonderful collection of different vehicles. I guess mostly they're classic British bikes, there's a few other European bikes chucked in there, this and that. So it kind of goes to show that me making these videos isn't absolutely pointless. I mean, obviously I'm not no YouTube influencer or whatever the hell these people are. I'm just straight up, you know. I'm not for all the bullshit of like, oh look at me, I'm gonna fucking bake, I don't know, a banana sandwich from scratch and all this fucking stuff, you know. So yeah, so I think I'm not going to be that kind of like YouTube influencer dude, but like I say, I've made an acquaintance there, which was well worth it, because like I say, he's got a special velo, and I'm pleased to have been able to see that in real life. You know, it's all good seeing pictures and videos, but seeing it in real life is awesome. Right, anyway, the topic, like I say, new year, new me, right? So this is what I would like people to engage and leave their comments about, and then the other one, like I say, motorcycle stuff, as in theft. I know that some people are going to be uncomfortable leaving comments about what they're doing in their personal life regarding the sort of new me jobby, but you know, don't be scared. If anyone leaves a disrespectful comment on your comment, I should probably be able to delete it, being the channel owner, but I've not really got that much experience in that, but we'll see. So yeah, so you got this thing of like New Year's resolutions. Obviously I guess that's been around fucking for a long time. I never really do them, because I always think you're going to fail them, and because you have that in the back of your mind, like, oh, I'm just going to fail anyway, I guess you don't really go through with it, and this and that. But if you do them, obviously like I said, leave the comments, let me know. But anyway, yeah, so what it is about is the fact that in January every year I try and curb my chocolate intake, and I did that this year and last year, maybe the year before, I don't know, but definitely did it this year. Alright, there's a little sign there that says Red Lynch, so that's something to keep in mind, obviously if you're trying to reference what route I've taken. Right, so yeah, so I avoid buying chocolate and ice cream in January. I lasted 3 weeks, which isn't too bad. And I guess I might have had a few things kicking around in the cupboards, but you know, I didn't actually go and buy any fresh stock, so that was my achievement for January. And then February come along, and obviously I'm back on the chocolate and all that, and I started thinking, right, I would like to be a bit more fitter and healthier, and obviously ideally I'd like to lose weight, but I know how hard that's going to be for me to achieve, so I just kind of set the target at, let's just actually get a bit more active, you know. I've got an active job, but I just wanted to, like I say, ramp it up a bit. So I can't run for shit, so I thought, right, I'll start doing walking. And originally I thought that's not going to make that much difference to the old sort of calorie burning situation, but according to Strava it's bloody amazing. I mean, I can burn as much calories over the distance of a walk as I would over that same distance of a cycle, and probably even more via the walk. So that's pretty impressive, because like I said, I thought a slow pace, not slow pace, I mean, I'm bloody walking as fast as I can, but you know, I'm probably averaging 4 miles an hour, which is fast, because it's normally between 2 and 4 miles an hour is our walking average speed, so you're probably going to be about 3, but I am hitting 4. Anyway, so no, it does do good for the calorie burn, very good, and obviously it's not that strenuous. And I think the reason it's good for calories is because your heart rate is not that elevated. You only burn, I think it's the fat reserves, whereas when you're doing intense exercise, I think it goes into your carbs or something different. So there's technical shit I don't really know about. Right, so yeah, so I started doing walking, and the first walk was 3 miles, 5 kilometres. My legs were like fucking jelly by the time I got the end back of it. So like I say, I try and walk as fast as I can, and that's what I did at the beginning. I've slightly got to a certain pace now where I'm just like, yeah, I'm happy to keep going at that pace. Anyway, so yeah, so I did the 3 miler, and I thought, well, okay, at least I've done that. You know, there's no stopping, there's no slowing off the pace, you just keep going. And so I kept doing that. I thought, well, I've done that once, do it again. So I kept doing my 3 mile walk, and then I thought, well, if I can do 3 mile, let's see if I can go a bit further. So I tried a new route, which I, in my head, thought, fuck me, this must be like 5 or 6 miles, but it wasn't. It was only, it was 4.5 miles, which isn't bad, you know, 4.5 miles, not bad. And so then I started, you know, mixing it up. So in a week I'd do a couple of 3 miles, and I'd do a 4.5 mile. And then eventually I thought, right, now I've got another walk I want to do, which is going to be longer again. Didn't know the exact distance. Headed out, came home, 6 miles. And that 6 mile one I can actually convert to being a 7 mile one, depending if I add a little bit in. So anyway, so then what I did is, relentlessly, like I say, from I guess February onwards, this walking stuff started. I got some slowing down going on there because of the horses, I guess. Yeah, so I started doing 3 walks a week, and that is one of the 3 miles, one of the 4.5, and one of the 6. So it totals up quite a lot of miles, and it totals up quite a lot of time. And of course I haven't got that much time, so I have to wait until the kids go to bed. So you're talking probably about 8 o'clock by the time I get out of the house, and then I'm out for a walk, right? You know, when you're doing that in February time, February, March, you know, it's fucking pitch black. I had to take a torch with me because I never used to have a torch. I used to fucking walk around and think fuck them, but like, I think since I've been on the road a lot more, whether it be on the car or the motorcycle, I think I'm aware how hard it is to see pedestrian people when there's no street lighting, and you just, yeah, especially if there's another car coming towards you or whatever and you're a bit dazzled. So anyway, yeah, take a torch with me because it's bloody black, and I'm walking country roads like this, I guess, where there's no pavement. I mean, this is a little bit easier because you could just walk on the grass, but where I've been going, it's like I guess you've got bushes or banks on either side, so you have got nowhere to walk other than the road. And if obviously a car comes round the corner and they can't see you, say, then that's a problem, isn't it? Now look, we've got obviously a foal up here which is making people go mega slow, which is giving me problems. So anyway, hopefully they'll get a wriggle on. Yeah, the foal's jogging on now a little bit. So yeah, so that was the thing. And then just watching out for these horses here. On top of that, so I found that walking in the dark was actually easier than walking in daylight. Okay, so you don't get the engagement factor, and it's therefore quite lonely and eerie and this and that, but the miles just go quicker. You know, you're flying by the time you've done your walk. So anyway, so that's what I've been doing, right? And then kept on doing that every week, 3 walks a week. And then I started about in maybe April time, I can't remember, I started doing a cycle as well. So I was doing 3 walks plus a 16-mile bicycle ride. You know, it's pretty full on really. Like I say, when you think about the amount of spare time I've got after working full time, young children, wife, you know, it's just, yeah, it's not easy fitting all that in. So anyway, but I had been doing it very religiously, but with no result, no weight loss, nothing. Obviously muscles in my legs have gone fucking massive, which is understandable because both my exercises are leg related. Anyway, so I've concluded that it's diet, it's food related, it's my intake related that's actually what needs to change, and that's obviously fucking hard. So I don't think I'm going to achieve it. Maybe I'll just go up, who knows, but I would like to reduce my sugary intake levels. Just going to signal here, coming off down there, look, this should hopefully take us to Bramshaw. Yeah, so I want to reduce my sugar intake, and it's just like whether or not I can handle giving up that addiction, because there's no doubt about it, that is something that I'm addicted to. And oh, missed the gear there. Yeah, I don't have any other vices, so not quite sure what gear I'm in now. I might be in 4. Let's try go down 1 gear. Yeah, that feels alright, so hopefully I'm in 3rd now. I need to know what gear I'm in, because yeah. Yeah, chocolate and all that, sugar, I think it's my only vice really. Like I said, I don't smoke, drink, drugs, nothing. So, never done any of those things. So, and I'm vegetarian. So, you know, so hopefully I'm reasonably healthy, but the chocolate thing is the issue. So anyway, so this is what's interesting. So I started doing all that in February, right? And then a couple of months after that, my wife is unwell. She's in bed, she's all dizzy, she can't hardly walk, and you know, it goes on for about a month where she's fucked, and like 2 weeks were full on, like she just couldn't move pretty much, and 2 weeks were fairly mellow, like she was recovering, not too bad. Anyway, she went to the doctors, and yeah, they found out she's got diabetes. So that was a revelation to us. She's only 35. Although I kind of saw it coming. Her mum's got diabetes, my dad's got diabetes, that's why I'm a little bit conscious of my intake, I guess. But anyway, and also it's the fact of like inactivity and overweight. Now I'm not overweight, but like I said, I could do with losing a bit. I would like to lose about 5 to 7 kilograms. But anyway, so yeah, so she got that dreaded information. I was like, well, hang on a minute, Bramshaw, yeah, it says Bramshaw, okay. Right, so yeah, so she got that dreaded bit of information, right, which is a proper fucking life changer. And like I said, her mum's got it, and then she's also got high blood pressure, which she's had, well, we've been aware of it ever since we've had children, or she's had children, sorry. Maybe she had it before, but we've certainly been aware of it ever since then. And also yeah, the overweight bit and the inactivity bit. No Man's Land, Landford. Oh, I'd be interested if I go to No Man's Land. That's another fucking cool name for a ride destination, isn't it? No Man's Land. So yeah, so she got that information. They didn't want to give her any drugs or anything, which I'm very pleased about. I'm all anti that kind of stuff. So they just said, obviously, look, you know, let's just change your life around. Diet, exercise, we'll review it in a month's time or 6 weeks, whatever the hell it is. And within the first week, I would say ish, of finding out that information of like, well, I now know I've got type 2 diabetes. We probably had 2 McDonald's and an Indian takeaway. So I'm there sat there thinking, fuck me, like, she's doing the opposite of what, you know, really she should be doing. And I feel like it was just one of those situations of defeatism, a bit like, you know, fuck it, right, if I've had this really terrible bit of news, well, you know, so what, bollocks to it, you know, blah blah blah. But luckily, since then, I mean, fuck me, she has done really well, like, compared to me, because like I say, I've just been tinkering with the old exercise and, you know, but no, she lost 10 kilos over a 2-month time frame, so that was incredible. Then we went on holiday, which was a couple of weeks ago now, and it was an all-inclusive, so I guess she didn't quite stick to the same routine, but me and her both did exercise. We both, you know, I went up a mountain, 7-mile walk, did that a couple of times, and, you know, just general walking around and this and that. So yeah, we didn't fully like go for the old, we're just going to lie by the pool and do fuck all, you know. But it's the fact that it's an all-inclusive that you end up way overeating effectively. Anyway, but no, obviously now we're back, and now she's back on her routine, and she's actually started something called 75 Hard, and I'd never heard of this. But yeah, you do 45 minutes of exercise outside, and then with a gap of at least 2 hours you then do, hang on a minute, shall I read you the sign where I am? Thursley. I'm in Thursley now, and in a minute I'll have to turn around and go back the same direction as I've come from, because I don't know where the fuck I am now. I've gone past where my friend lives. I'm going to slow her down a little bit. Beautiful little village this, isn't it? Get there in a second. Yeah, 45 minutes outside, 45 minutes inside. You stick to a certain amount of calories. That's not, he doesn't necessarily dictate that. I think you have to kind of figure out yourself what you want to be on. And then you have to do 10 pages of reading, which I'm dyslexic, so if I ever took on this challenge, I would just set a time limit on it. I'd say, look, I'm only doing half an hour of reading. I mean, fuck me, 10 pages could take me bloody fucking, you know, 5 hours or something. You know, I'd probably be a bit extreme, but do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so no, I couldn't be dealing with that 10 pages thing, and that reading has to be non-fictional. You cannot read fiction, and now I think that's probably because they're hoping people will read about weight loss and healthy diets and stuff, I guess. I don't really know. I also wonder if he's put that thing in there because if someone's going to fail at the challenge, the one thing they hopefully will drop is the reading. Hopefully they'll be like, oh, okay, well I'll let that slip, but I'll carry on with the exercise and the diet, and so then it's like not too bad, is it? Hello mate. Yeah, so anyway, so yeah, so she's done incredibly well, and other things coming back into order, as in like blood sugar levels and blood pressure. Actually, you know, that's the one amazing result of this, and I've been telling her for years, which I know every husband is scared to tell their wives about anything. I just don't give a fuck. So I've been telling her, look, weight loss, weight loss, weight loss. Originally it was for vanity. I wanted her to look like a sexy woman, which she is, and then it changed. Like I say, then I was like, no, I'm actually now concerned about her physical health, and yeah, so I was actually concerned for her, and I wanted her to change, you know, the size for that reason. So yeah, so anyway, obviously, like I said, please leave some comments and tell me if you're on a new health kick, or if you're on a new job, or if you're on a new way of thinking about life, or converted to a new religion, whatever. But this whole thing about changing, because I do strongly believe that for us humans, I think for animals it's different, perhaps they just don't change at all and never need to. Is this person going to pull out on me? No, good. Yeah, but I do believe that for us humans it's the hardest thing for us to achieve is change. Like, I really struggle with the concept of changing, and I mean proper change. I don't just mean like, I don't know, changing from one thing you like to something else you like, but you know, giving something up or this and that. So yeah, like I said, give us some comments, see what stuff you've been up to, whether you had a New Year's resolution, whether you had a revelation within your life that's made you change everything, you know, stuff like this. So that's what I'm after really on that topic. Now we'll move on to the old bike security thing, because in a minute, like I say, I'm going to be turning around because I just don't know where the fuck I'm going. Right, now I attend motorcycle meetups on this bike and others, and I just don't really think about it too much. I just think, oh Jesus, yeah, we're getting to the one that's the main road, so I'm not having that. I'll just pull over here. Yeah, so let's keep this bike running hopefully. Yeah, so I go to these bike meets, right? I've actually got a bike show that I'm taking part in. Bike show I'm taking part in next weekend. Now, when you're at these bike shows or meetups, whatever, you know, there's lots of people around, right? And with this bike in particular, I never used to let it leave my sight, but I'm always stood a little bit of distance away, so you can imagine that, like, I can see people that are, you know, all gathered around my bike, and if they're on the other side of my bike, you know, I can't really see what they're doing. You know, they're getting down on, you know, they're crouching down to have a look, and you know, this and that, and it's like I say, it's a bit like, you know, yeah, I do worry, but I've never worried too much. And then nowadays, because I've taken this bike to a lot more shows, or like meetups rather, sorry, yeah, like motorcycle meetups, gathering. I just leave it there and I walk off and look around all the other bikes. I have a good time and I just get on the bike and go home, you know. I don't think anything about it really. I just think, you know, whatever, like if someone's, you know, it's not very likely they're going to do anything, because most people there are obviously all fellow bikers, motorcyclists, and they're not going to be intentionally wanting to bloody, you know, cause your bike any, you know, mischief sort of thing. But someone put on I guess it was Facebook the other day, they put that they've had their bike stolen, which I see all the time. I mean, you know, you see this stuff, don't you, like see all this stuff all the time. Should get a bit slow by these little foals. Yeah, you see it all the time, right, about like bikes being stolen and please help and whatever. But what he said was interesting was the fact that the same day it gets stolen, he's at a motorcycle meet. And then the people that steal the bike, they go directly to the shed that it is stored in. They don't even check any of his other outbuildings or anything else. They just go directly to where the bike is actually located. So he suggested, and I think the police suggested it as well, or just he did, I'm not quite sure. He suggested that what the, you know, organised crime criminals have done is to use a device which I think is called an Apple Air. I'm not entirely sure, but it's obviously made by Apple, you know, what everyone's iPhone is type thing. And this thing, you just stick it on whatever you want, and I guess it's to track your phone, like if you want to never be able to lose your phone, so you just stick it to the back of your phone, or to your car keys or whatever, right? But what it is obviously it's a tracking device, and what he's saying is that these people have obviously attached this to his bike, and then, you know, so nothing suspicious happens that he's aware of, no one's followed him home, nothing, and he leaves his bike, and then obviously bang, they're in there, they've got it, it's gone. That was very concerning, because it's so like obvious, like, you know, method to employ, but I hadn't thought of it myself. And I mean, obviously I'm not criminally minded, I suppose, but what I mean is I hadn't thought that such an easy thing that you can buy probably relatively cheaply, probably like 20 quid, you know, would actually be so devastatingly effective when you're trying to obviously steal someone's bike, because they're not going to do it at the bike meet because it would be probably a bit too obvious. So yeah, so just want you guys to all be aware of that. Like, if you do take your bikes to motorcycle meetups and you have a valuable bike or whatever, be careful. Be aware that these scumbags might be employing this trick. And like I said, it might be speculation, it might be just what this guy said, and it might be not true at all. You know, I don't know what the range on those things is. You know, I don't know how far you can go with one of those Apple Air things before you're not going to be able to track it down or something. You know, I just don't really know enough about it. But I reckon it's pretty damn, like, effective from the point of view that if you was to have an iPhone that's connected to that Apple Air thing, and you could be like saying the New Forest here, and then you could actually be in London and drop your phone or whatever, and I reckon you could then be back in Ringwood, you know, wherever, connect your iPhone. I reckon it'd just show you a little map
with a little beacon thing showing you exactly where your item is, where your Apple Air thing is. So that is obviously, like I said, big concern to me. I hadn't thought of that in the past as something they would do. But like I said, you know, there's all sorts of things out there. So, you know, obviously you see these other videos where you've got young nippers on, like, let's say they might be on electronic motorcycles, but they're on something with no number plate, obviously, I guess. There's a woman that I follow on Instagram. She's called Tits and Talk, which I think is a very good name, because talk is spelled as in the engine talk, not talking. But you know, women are known for talking. Maybe I've been yapping on now for however long. So yeah, Tits and Talk. She said she had a bunch of nippers crowding her effectively, and obviously with the intention of following her to wherever she parks up, and then just, you know, violating her by stealing her motorcycle. But she managed to call the police, and they apparently responded ultra quickly and dealt with it. Now that's because she's probably got her phone connected into her helmet and all this other stuff, so she was able to probably call the police whilst actually still riding, to avoid the confrontation with these fucking little shits. But I don't have that. I just don't have any of that technology. I'm not good with technology. Let me just rip her open a minute, hang on. Yeah, my boy. Fucking love it. Like I say, I've been waiting sort of, like I say, probably 6 months to get out on this girl. And yeah, definitely worth the wait as per usual. So I can end it here, because like I said, really you guys are just following me back up the same road that I've just come down. Glorious that it is. UK summer's day. Fucking weather's probably, I don't know, like, I haven't checked, but it said it was going to be about 19 degrees today max, so it's up around there. It could be 18, 19, and for me that's perfect for this bike. I don't like 25, 30 degrees. It's just way too hot when you're trying to run along a bump start this thing, and you got your levers on, and yeah, this is just glorious. The roads are nice and dry. Oh, and of course we've got the Isle of Man TT on at the moment, so well, you know, we're right in the zone, aren't we? Any motorcyclist, any motorcycle fan, biker, rider, however you want to refer to yourself, because obviously I'm always in danger of offending someone. Incorrect terminology, whatever you call it. Yeah, so we're right in the zone, man, and I say, like, I just love it. Like I said, it's getting out on this thing. Any classic British bike, I feel. I mean, this one's a bit older than most, but you know, 34 this bike is. Yeah, so right, so I'm not very good at saying let's round it up, but like I said, like, that's where I'm at. So thanks for joining me on this lovely ride. Look at this dappled sunlight through the forest. Fucking gorgeous. Loads of cyclists out today, not so gorgeous for car drivers, but I am a cyclist, so I never ever complain about them and whatever. Yeah, right, so topics, like I said, anyone can engage with me. I've got another topic that I want to engage about in the future, which will be overhead cam engines, but I'm hoping to save that for another ride. So if we just stick to, you know, anything you've seen on the ride that made you want to make a comment, even if it's just something like, thanks for doing the ride, we've been waiting ages, because obviously I've been doing a lot of audio videos recently, which none of you will have any interest in, but I've got to go for it now. Yeah, anything you want to comment on, get it in there. If you see my videos, please subscribe. It's totally free. I know subscription always sounds like you're going to pay. It's not. My channel is not going to probably ever be successful, but if you can subscribe, that helps me out, and comments help me out, and views obviously help me out, because it just draws more attention to the channel and what I'm trying to achieve, which is a good thing for anyone interested in classic vintage motorcycles. You don't have to be a Velocette lover, you know, whatever. But yeah, so awesome, man. I mean, like I say, let's just take in this view for a minute. I'll shut up and then we'll cut the video. Hey, check out this view, man. This is like one of the places I've managed to stop at in the forest. Beautiful.